Ladies and gentlemen, a prosecutor was fired today for potentially secretly meeting with judges, and Lindsay Halligan and the DOJ and Pam Bondi are still on the case to indict Comey again. That's according to the New York Times and other publications. The individual had been dismissed because he secretly met with judges, according to an article, and federal prosecutor has fired him amid further turmoil in Comey indictment. New York Times. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. Where on earth is this thing? Oh yeah, right here. Check it out and hit subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. This is just one of many, many lies, overt lies, lies by omission, and perjury. This is not what he was indicted for, not what he'll be indicted for, but just kind of to give you some context into the upcoming indictments in 2026.
She was using a Verizon BlackBerry then, and that's obviously very important because if there was evidence that she was acting with bad intent, that's where it would be in the first 3 months.
But they weren't there.
Look, can I just finish my answer, Senator?
Yeah.
And so they came in and said, we can see thousands of emails from the Clinton email domain, including many, many, many from the Verizon Clinton domain, BlackBerry domain. They said, we think we got to get a search warrant to go get these. And the Department of Justice agreed we had to go get a search warrant. So I agreed. I authorized them to seek a search warrant, and then I faced a choice. And I've lived my entire career by the tradition that if you can possibly avoid it, you avoid any action in the run-up to an election that might have an impact, whether it's a dog catcher election or President of the United States. But I sat there that morning, and I could not see a door labeled no action here. I could see 2 doors, and they were both actions. One was labeled speak, the other was labeled conceal. Because here's how I thought about it. I'm not trying to talk you into this, but I want you to know my thinking. Having repeatedly told this Congress, we are done and there's nothing there, there's no case there, there's no case there, to restart in a hugely significant way, potentially finding the emails that would reflect on her intent from the beginning and not speak about it would require an act of concealment, in my view. And so I stared at speak and conceal. Speak would be really bad. There's an election in 11 days. Lordy, that would be really bad. Concealing, in my view, would be catastrophic. Not just to the FBI, but well beyond. And honestly, as between really bad and catastrophic, I said to my team, we've got to walk into the world of really bad. I've got to tell Congress that we're restarting this, not in some frivolous way, in a hugely significant way. And the team also told me, we cannot finish this work before the election. And then they worked night after night after night, and they found thousands of new emails. They found classified information on Anthony Weiner. Somehow, her emails are being forwarded to Anthony Weiner, including classified information by her assistant, Huma Abedin. And so they found thousands of new emails and then called me the Saturday night.
They found classified data being forwarded to Anthony Weiner from Clinton's top staffer, or, chief of staff or top official. They found classified data, classified emails being forwarded outside the U.S. government to Anthony Weiner, which was already, the classified emails were already outside the U.S. government. Nobody knows how they went from the Pentagon or from other secure locations onto Clinton's servers. That alone is the most absurd, outlandish breach of cybersecurity in the history of the world. But then she was forwarding, Clinton's campaign or team or Huma Abedin was forwarding classified data to Anthony Weiner. And still he couldn't find intent. That's why he wrote the Comey letter, by the way. This is, of course, all lies by omission. And it is true that classified data was being forwarded. It is not true, almost certainly, that there was no intent or anything else he was saying. Anyway, hit subscribe. This is the basis, although not exactly the reason why, the basis for upcoming indictments. Hit subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. Thank you.